Welcome to the episode 2 reaction of the Acolyte. I haven't gotten the episode title just yet, so we're going to wait for that to pop up on screen, and then I'll read it for you guys. As I said, episode 1 I gave a 5 out of 10. It's not wowing me. It's not like blowing my mind. It feels like they're attempting to make a Star Wars series. It looks like Star Wars. There's a couple of characters that I don't agree should have been killed off or been revealed to be who they are, because if they were going for a murder mystery, they kind of spoiled it in the beginning already. So they had a good concept in there. They could have handled it differently. I'm hearing that episode 2 is kind of more of the same. I think my brother was telling me that so far Lee Jung-jae, we both agree, is probably the best part so far. He just has like a passion to him, and he's very reminiscent to Qui-Gon. Kind of makes me wish that we had just explored a series with Qui-Gon in it. But that's, Liam Neeson probably doesn't want to have anything to do with Star Wars, unless they give him something that he says is like, yeah, I agree to that. Because he barely even made that cameo on the Obi-Wan series. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hit play on this thing. The random lightsaber. I swear to God. Okay. The temple is in place for games. Now run along. She obviously paid her off to be there. Reminds me of those like street performers. Oh God. Why does she... The dude's chilling. He doesn't even know you're there. Well, he probably does, but someone let me know in the comments if anyone's ever done a force bubble. I ain't even trying. I could do this in my sleep. He's literally fighting his paralysis demon. Why did she need to sneak in if there was just a open window right above that guy? You know what I'm saying? Girl, don't look at her like that. She's a mech tech. Yeah! I still think that Soul should use that mind thing just to prove in front of this guy and the other girl. Like, again, I'm forgetting name. Yord and Jecki. Like, that's all they need to do to prove it. Standard pretty settings. I always like when they go somewhere colorful and it's not just the deserts of Tatooine.
Hello?
Chimere. That's a name. You really gonna disturb bro's sleep? Is that Ezra Miller? That looks like Ezra Miller. Holy shit. Bacon? Looks like bacon bites. This is highly concentrated Gatorade. This is that one random person walking between them. Okay, there you go. I was wondering if she's gonna try to trick her way in again. Bro, listen, if I'm trying to be a Jedi, I gotta make sure my knees work. Force field warbles. That's what it said in the caption. 10 years? What, in that state? That's some dedication. Then why didn't you say something last night? Wasting her time. Why are you following the creepy version of your sister? Ah, here we go. Yord's always pissed off about something. Just 10 years sitting there just to drink a poison, bro? Bro, don't tell me she just walked in and they're gonna be like, oh, why are you here? Like, y'all literally just walked in with her. Don't give me this crap. Bro just gave up. Great investigation skills. I would have not thought the same thing. She would have used some girl to get in. Bro, chill with the lightsaber. Pip! What the fuck? Oh, thank God. Alright, bro, cool. That got tense too quick. Busting out lightsabers just like it's a badge. Thank you, Yord, for stating the fucking obvious. Okay, at least they didn't put her into the trap of like, oh, you did it. Yord actually stuck up for her there. Nice. Alright, so I'm catching on that Yord is basically Obi-Wan in episode 1, questioning everything Qui-Gon does. Which is fine, but Yord is just like so overbearing. Like the rule follower in the group, you know?
You guys can hear me. Hello?
Hello. Hi. Hi. Girl, you're supposed to be... Oh, he clocked you as soon as you said hello. This is a -10 charisma check. And this is confirming that there is another one. Okay, so this is useful. Yeah, he knew exactly. As soon as she said hello, hi, hi, like... Yord, you don't need to bust out your lightsaber every time. What is this? Chill. Okay, the only reason I would think that he's not using that trick is that he has this feeling that he's not lying. You know what I mean? Like that he's not withholding the truth from them. So that's all I can go off of right there. I'm not sure why he's not utilizing that power more. Even the guy admits that he knows that they have mind tricks and stuff like that. So, okay, that was a bit. Have faith in May and then have faith in me. I don't know if she wants to have faith in her sister. And I keep mixing up the two, Osha and May. I thought this was May and the other one was Osha, so I gotta get these names right. She might have a weak spot for my man here. Or she's just setting the stage. That flip was... What you trying to grab his lightsaber for, yo? It's disrespectful. Put him in your pocket, bro. That front flip was wild. Got her, trap her. Put the cuffs on her. It's done. Is he? He's probing her mind right now to get this information. Just remember that. Don't kill my boy, please. He's like the one dude I actually like.
In the name of the galactic son of the Republic, you are under arrest.
This heavy voice, and then just cuts to the little weak voice that she's got. Poor Padawan. Force push the dust away. It's already established that we can do this. Mace Windu does it all the time. Just whoosh. Y'all let her get away, bro. Y'all could have done so much here. Poor guy. He's just trying to go home. It's a stun gun, right? How did you miss? How did you miss? You wouldn't have even killed her. Oh, hell no, bro. He could have force grabbed her. She could have shot her with the stun gun. Now here comes Yor to be like, she let her go. As if they didn't have a hand in that. No, bro. Pay attention. Oh! She came to kill him. There ain't no way he beat her. The casual walk. Oh, snap. Bro, your hairstyle. What did you do to the top of your dome? That's it? What is that? 30 minutes? You cut down 5 more minutes? Why? Okay. A few thoughts before we go ahead and conclude this. My man should be using his power, like, throughout, okay? I don't think there's an excuse to not be using it, especially since he follows up by showing that he can read, like, the emotions and tell if you're conflicted, or he even mentions that, like, the master that May has is somehow completely blocking her off from the truth. So, like, he's reading and detecting these thoughts and these feelings as it's happening. I don't understand. Maybe I missed something about this guy right here. I'm trying to get a good shot of him. Yeah, this guy right here, I racked with guilt for 16 years since whatever happened. That's the most interesting thing that's happened since episode 1. Because episode 1 established that there was this murder mystery, and then they immediately revealed that it was Osha's sister. Okay, episode 2, we're finding out that there's 4 Jedis, 2 down now. This guy just willingly, like, just gave up. So whatever it is, it's gotta be, like, serious. And I hope it's something interesting, you know, because that's kind of what has me right now with interest. Like, that's definitely something that I'm, like, looking at. I thought it was funny how she used that girl to get into the temple, and then she just easily jumped out and came back in later. I'm like, you imagine if she had to use the girl again? I have a gripe with Yord, just because he's kind of a dick. Like, he's an oddball character that questions nearly everything that's happening, but out of the blue, he decided to kind of help out May, or Osha, sorry, these names. So I'm glad that he stepped in for her, because if not, this would have turned into this whole other repeat of the last episode. Like, oh, we found you with the body and all that stuff. Like, thank God they didn't go that route. That would have been annoying. This guy, he's that middleman that just kind of works for the best bidder. He's gonna give whatever. If May had not escaped the way she did, this guy would be screwed. And even then, it's like, what are you gonna do after? Like, I guess you're out of the job. He, like, literally risked her coming back and killing him. I do like how he caught on. This setup was pretty cool. Hello, hi, hi, hi. Immediately, that was a good little banter. Some good stuff there. She's not a detective. She's probably not good at being aggressive or interrogating people. So it definitely worked to break character and get that low charisma roll. This interaction was interesting. Again, further pushing into this background, the reason that May is doing what she's doing. I'm curious to see what it is, because that's again is interesting to know that 16 plus years ago, whatever happened, and you know, this fire, May supposedly dying, and then May thinking that Osha is dead, leads me to believe that the Jedi did something that is absolutely questionable, and I think that's just obvious. It's just being brought up now. It feels like this episode and the first episode should have been one. I don't know why they're cutting it into 30 minutes. I'm starting to get this feeling that the episodes might even get shorter. This Disney Plus has a bad trend of starting you off at 50-minute episodes and then cutting down to like 30-minute episodes, and it sucks because it ends up cutting out a lot of like character development, or at least potential character development. There's stuff here to be explored. Like, this town is interesting. They could have hung out here a little bit more, going around the slums, talking to about their relationship and how it all fell apart. I just feel like that it leaves you wanting a little bit more, and most shows do that to kind of lead into the next one. So let's hope the episode 3 follows up and kind of ties the knot on some of these questions that we have. Again, it's not blowing my mind. This fight was okay. So it is kind of ramping up, and by the end, we're hoping that everything overall is paying off. So I am in it for the long run, all the way up until the end. Another nitpick that I imagine a lot of people have is, why are the Jedi just busting out lightsabers over and over? All I can say is it's a different time period. Even in episode 1, 2, and 3, the Jedi are like super aggressive. Just whip out lightsabers, whip out lightsabers, whip out lightsabers. It is what it is. It's just something that they did within that culture, within their belief system. I don't know why she hesitated. It wasn't going to kill your sister, so you should have shot, and then you miss. Like, that's like Goku charging up a spirit bomb and then just, and the target's right in front of him, and then just throwing it off to the side. This is kind of forcing this escape. It's forcing the conflict. The Jedi have access to so many force powers that they can't. Yord could force push the dust away, and Soul could like force grab her before she can escape, which you had her locked in. I don't know why some of these decisions are being made just to force a plot, when they could have just been more creative about how they tell it. At this point, it would have been interesting to see May and Osha just take a breath and settle, and maybe even just run off together to get this whole thing figured out on their own. It would create further conflict between Osha and Soul, but they already showed a scene where they have some tension about how to go about this. So, I don't know. There's a couple of things that are just pushed into happening just for the sake of getting into the next episode. And I imagine episode 3, they're going to go after that Wookiee, and whatever happens there is going to happen. I'm curious. I am hearing rumors that episode 3 is going to be super controversial. This show is already controversial. Okay. There's people on one side of the extremes saying this show was going to flop before it even started, before even giving it a chance. And I agree. You shouldn't just be doing that. Me personally, I'm just fatigued. I just don't care about a lot of Star Wars stuff right now. Even Marvel isn't like capturing me, and again, it has to do with stories not being like complete, fully envisioned. When I wrote a lot of my scripts, a lot of my stories, I was always taught to start with the end in mind. That was the biggest flaw watching Rise of Skywalker and all those other films. It didn't start that way. That wasn't the ending that I believe J.J. Abrams had in mind. And then all the stupid creative differences and excuses for not completing certain scripts, it just doesn't work, and I just don't buy it anymore. There's great ideas in this show that are just kind of flopping. This little council meeting, I assume, is going to show Yoda, because Yoda is alive in this time period. Whatever the reason that the Jedi, are hiding from this truth that May is angry about, I'm sure, I hope really pays off. I hope that it's something that makes me go, okay, now I'm in. Because otherwise, I got nothing to kind of go off right now. Saul's still my favorite character. Yord is annoying, but he kind of redeemed himself here. He's just very stiff, and I think that's just maybe the way they directed him to act is that way. And then even Jecki is kind of reserved. This again could be, just the culture of being a Jedi. I don't have too much to say on this one. 30 minutes is not enough time, in my opinion, for shows like this where you're trying to like flesh out a story with new characters and such, because I feel like I still don't know too much about each of them. And if we're going to do this short form thing where we don't have to develop Jackie, we don't have to develop Yord, we don't have to overdevelop Soul, which is coming later anyways, it should have just been a movie. This feels like it could have been a movie. I don't agree with this commentary I've seen go around where it's like it looks like a CW show at times. Some of the dialogue does feel kind of like CW, but the budget is there. It looks like Star Wars. It often feels like Star Wars. You got your lightsabers being pulled out like police badges, but the Jedi are definitely very threatening, and I definitely want to see like why, and maybe they've had to change a lot over the years. I would like to see some like dark Jedi stuff, like them like just maliciously like, or just without question just killing people, and it's just like, oh, you know, you're judge, jury, and executioner, you have too much power, sort of thing. That'd be pretty cool to see. Something changed within Soul and those three other Jedis, to lead to what we have going on right now. Overall, I'm going to say this episode, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Definitely going to go ahead and stick with my guns on that one. It hasn't changed too much. It hasn't done anything extravagantly amazing yet that makes me go, this series, this plot is off to an amazing start. It's off to an okay start. Again, I'm putting episode 1 and 2 together because it should fill that time gap of an hour or maybe an hour and 10 minutes. And this all is episode 1 to me. And maybe that's why they dropped them together. But I do have a concern that next episode is just going to be 30 minutes more of maybe not too much going on. Maybe we have a fight with this character and we do some reveal. It looks like this is the location where the Acolyte's boss enters. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get some exciting stuff third episode. But again, there is rumor that it's super controversial and it kind of... I don't know. I don't know what else it could do to the show that it's not doing already. To me, it's just an average television program so far. That should have been a movie. That's my biggest thing on this one. So 5 out of 10. I'll have this video up soon, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.